All right, we are trying. Okay, and we may be successful this time. I don't know. I guess it helps to have the right camera selected. I thought I did. But welcome to the Random Pipe Lounge, May 20th, 2023. And this is my final day, day 30 of the Codger Challenge 2023. Just thought I'd come on live here for, I don't know, a short time. We'll see if we get anyone to join us. I do have a video uploading. That's my Codger check-in number 7. It's going to be my final check-in for the challenge. Just kind of talking about how things went, talking about a few things. Talked about number 6, a few things that I've been dealing with, a little bit of tongue bite, a little bit of tongue fatigue, and a little bit of boredom. Sorry about that half and half. But, oh yeah, I'm talking about, we got the half and half. And in the video, I do mention what I have in here right now. It's not really half and half. It's a closest approximation I could get to. Last few days here, I ran out of half and half. I didn't go pick up any. And I did the most Codger thing I could think of, which was smoke whatever the hell I wanted. No, I found a few things that really, together they're the best I can do. And I will talk about that here in just a moment. But let me go ahead and pack my pipe. So again, yeah, not quite half and half. I mentioned my video, I guess technically it's a disqualification. That's the way it is. But I've had a good time with it. Really enjoyed following along on people's videos and seeing how they're doing it, seeing if they're enjoying it, kind of what things that they're dealing with. And thanks again, Paladin Piper, for putting this on, hosting it, and doing the grand prize drawing. So I have been wanting to do another live stream for a while. I did a live stream on New Year's Eve. I kind of got started in this whole YouTube thing with a live stream. And I saw Slow Mo Randy was live the other day, and it just kind of reminded me, like, yeah, I want to get back on, do another live. I find them a lot of fun. They're kind of exciting because different from a video, where for me the comes when you upload the video and you start to see people's reaction. Live stream's different because it's immediate. You're live. So and just send out a notification to my buddy Cat Dad Piper. He thought he might be able to join us. In fact, so this is my third attempt at a live stream. Both times I went live, the video wasn't up. I'd selected the camera in the camera app, but I didn't have the right camera in the YouTube Live Studio app. So it wasn't showing any video. So took a couple tries, and I think we're there. think my flint is wearing out on my Zippo. And I think I have more flints, but I'm not sure where they are. And trying to get your pipe going on video. It's always fun. So, what's everyone up to today? Kind of a lazy Saturday here for me. I should be mowing my lawn. I'm procrastinating that. All for the love of the YTPC and the pipe. But it's just too nice out today to pass up this opportunity. Just to sit out in the garage for a bit, enjoy a pipe. Got a little bit of water here. Yeah, it's late enough today. I could probably get some bourbon, but I do have to mow, so I don't want to get too crazy. We've been doing this thing at work. Somehow I got to be part of this wellness committee, which is just kind of like health consciousness stuff. And this month we're supposed to be tracking how much water we're drinking. And I am notoriously bad at drinking enough water. So the recommendation, I guess, is 64 ounces a day. I've always heard about a gallon a day. So 64 ounces, that's half a gallon. And, it's not too hard. I pick up a bottle of water at lunch, a 32 ounce bottle, and, two of those and you're there. So there is a drawing for it, but it's just part of just kind of a benefit your own health type thing. Your own wellness. I don't know if anyone else watching here is part of the Codger challenge. How's it been going for you? And do you have any plans on what you might be smoking after? So I know I've been doing half and half, and I'll actually talk about what I have going on here right now. Been meaning to place a tobacco order. I've been saying that. But I've got some stuff, I think, once I'm finally done. And I think I'm going to carry this through tomorrow even though this is my day 30. Just through the end of the weekend. Paladin's supposed to be doing the drawing tomorrow. He said that he did say the 21st. Now I know some people started because he put up the video pretty quick, so some people didn't see the video, probably didn't even know about it till the end of the weekend. And so I think maybe through that Monday he was kind of taking entries. So I don't know if he'll do the drawing tomorrow or if he might just push it back a few days, but I may be disqualified. talked about in my video. This is not actually half and half right now. I ran out midweek, and instead of going and buying more half and half, I just threw together what I had, which, it's a fairly close approximation. I'll show you what I got here. Of course, I don't have much. It's in the video. So this is a bag of, it's a mix of Peter Stokeby Long Cut Virginia and Four Noggins Blending Burley. Mixed together about 50-50. And I've had that now for a couple years at least. I bought it originally to mix into, I had Rattray's Sir William, which I understood to be an aromatic, and it had supposed to be a light whiskey topping. Hey, senior church warden, how you doing? Yeah, man, it's something with flavor. Definitely, and I was even thinking an English blend. And I'm not really an English fan, but I'm starting to come around a bit, especially something with like Orientals and Latakia. Generally, I'm not into Latakia, but just to quickly, so the Peter Stokeby Long Cut Virginia and the Blending Burley, I bought that to cut some Sir William because I opened that and it smelled so mapley and hazelnutty, and I wasn't really wanting a strong aromatic. So I let it air out for a few days and it got better. But I bought it because the base tobaccos were Burley, Virginia, some Orientals, and it sounded good. And I'd watched some videos on it. But it kind of turned out to be too much. It wasn't really what I wanted. I think now I switched back between non-aromatics and aromatics. I might just hang on to it and see how it developed. But back then, 2 years ago, I thought, well, I'm gonna buy this stuff to kind of cut it down, and then when I'm done, I bought 8 ounces of each, so I had 8 ounces of the Burley and 8 ounces of the Virginia. I thought, well, I'll mix them or I'll smoke them. There's just not much going on there, so I've been using it to make a few blends here and there. So I've got a couple ounces of that. I threw in about 1.5 ounces of Velvet to kind of give it that, half and half has that anise licorice topping, and it did okay. And then I had a 1/2 ounce of Captain Black Gold, the Golden Cavendish with that vanilla. It's kind of amaretto topping, so I threw that in there too. So yeah, what I have going, it's not really half and half, and it has that Captain Black kind of flavor coming through, but it's really light. I'm surprised how it's not too far off. I mean, really, the half and half is. I don't know if it was just this tin, because I remember it being a lot more flavorful. This didn't have a lot of topping on it at all. I don't know if I've had. I might have had plum pudding, and I always do enjoy GLPs. So I know I've got their Stratford. That's a nice one I like. Windjammer. Oh, come on. Smoke through a tin of Windjammer. Yeah, I liked it enough. It didn't really blow me away. Kind of held off on it. Well, then saying like I'm not really into Latakia, some of the best Latakia I had was a GLP's blend, and that was the Spark Plug. And I understand that's similar to Gaslight, I have not had any Gaslight. So if I were to buy a lot of Kia in the future, it might be something like that. And the Captain Earl stuff is really good. It's just too much for me. Really, I had a tin of the private stock for at least a year, trying to work through it, and I eventually threw it into a tub of just some random stuff. But I really have found like a lot of Kia in just the very small amounts gives a blend. I don't know, we'll say a certain something. To the point where you're not really tasting it, but it's in there. It kind of rounds out a blend with a really interesting flavor. And I guess what a lot of people might call a crossover blend, kind of a burly, light lot of Kia English type thing. I've kind of found I do enjoy that. Man, I can't say I've had a lot, but for example, it was on the recommendation of Paladin Piper. He was talking about those the Missouri Meerschaum blends. He was talking about Missouri Pride, Country Gentleman, and then the American Patriot, which is kind of that crossover. I got them, and I really have enjoyed those. I think I'm out right now. But those were all a good example of a tobacco that kind of when you open the pack and they just came in a pouch. They had flavor, but that flavor really developed over the next few weeks. And I don't know if they dried out a bit because they didn't have a lot of moisture to begin with. Maybe just being exposed to the air a bit too. The flavors change, and I have noticed that with tins. Once they're open, that flavor changes. So that's one thing. Kind of coming back to this Codger challenge. If you want to really get to know a blend, you have to spend time with it. 30 days is a long time to smoke one thing. I think 2 ounces is enough. And if you smoke through 2 ounces, however long that takes, you should have a pretty good idea of the blend. Yeah, I don't think I've had any of those. Oh, Cat Dad Piper, he had some potlatch. Paladin sent him. And I don't think I've tried that. But yeah, GLPs on a whole, I just found they're pretty high quality. I am a fan of Kentucky for sure. Dark Fired Kentucky is one of my favorites. There's one Cornell and Deal that Eddie Gray of the Pipe Nook, he made a video on a number of years ago. Bluegrass. That's what it is. It's their bluegrass blend. And it's pretty good. It's been a long time since I had that one too. That kind of comes in almost a broken flake, like a really thick ribbon cut almost. I hate to call it a ribbon cut. I guess what they call a broken flake. Maybe I can keep my pipe going. I'm trying to think what else I've had from GLPs. That might be it. Windjammer, spark plug, and Stratford. Mm. I should go back and watch that. I don't think I watched the March Blend Club video. I haven't followed along with him before. I know he puts out the list kind of late in the year, and then that gives you time to buy them. That's not something I've done. And then he was, he didn't make any videos for a long time, so I kind of got away from it. But I enjoyed the Blend Club videos are really good to go back and not only his video, but then the comments below, people talking about it. It is so hard to kind of, without smoking something, get an impression of, what a blend is really like to you. Because you'll read a review and you have these ideas of what it's supposed to be, and it's nothing like that. And I think it's tough to get a blend that you kind of have high expectations for, and it, even if it's a little different, that's okay. But like if you get something that you can tell right away you're not going to like it. I don't know. I kind of force myself to smoke through stuff. I mean, now I know some people online, it could come up, I could send to somebody, but I've only thrown one tobacco away. That was like a Lane. I don't know what it was. Lane bulk aromatic. I don't think it was 1Q, but something like that. And it had just sat around for a long time, and it kind of tasted. It was in a plastic bag. In my mind, it tasted plasticky. Wasn't into it at the time. My flint's wearing out on my lighter. I've got some, I think I have some replacement flints somewhere, but I'm not sure where they are. Yeah, I really enjoyed the Codger challenge, especially kind of the video component of it. I got some new people involved. I tried to get around and watch as many as I could. I have a hard time anyway trying to follow other channels, and you kind of get in that mode where people do subscribe to you and you want to support them, so you try to watch their. But yeah, it's very easy to get 100 people following you, and I don't know how many channels I'm subscribed to, so it is tough to get around to everybody on a regular basis. I try to go through my list every once in a while, and if I haven't watched anybody in a while, kind of see what they're up to. I think people kind of have their, like for me, a few channels they go back to regularly. But yeah, it's been nice to see some new people. Paladin, I think, does a good job trying to get people involved. He's done a few giveaways where trying to encourage people to make a first video, and it's nice. I mean, because I watched videos for, well, I mean, that's how I got into it. I didn't know anything about pipe smoking. And then I don't remember if I searched for it or I had a video come up and it was like, how to smoke a pipe. Seemed like a good idea. Now I've had good luck. There was some channels you find that they seem to have similar taste to what you do, and if they review a blend, you kind of get an impression, based on what they say, if you like it. I know Mutton Chop really, he seems to like English blends a lot. I'm pretty much out on Latakia, almost completely. I mean, if I never had Latakia again, I think I'd be fine. I'm big into Burley, Virginia, Perique, Dark Fire, Kentucky, that type of thing. But I am coming around a little bit to English, so I was hoping to maybe explore that a little more this year in certain doses. Like, so 4noggins.com, I think they do a lot of their own blends. And I had one from them called, oh, the name escapes me. Bread Loaf. Yeah, it was called Bread Loaf. I think that's actually a cigar leaf blend, but it's in English, a pretty light English with Orientals. And they've got another one called Bald Headed Teacher, which I do want to try that. So I'm looking to place an order from them and tobacco pipes. I'm kind of out because I had those Codger blends sitting around. Well, I did my first video on last Labor Day opening that package. So I had half and half Sir Walter Raleigh, the Velvet, and I've got a tub of Carter Hall, and I've kind of been working through those, along other things. Hey, Cat Dad. Welcome to the chat. I finally got my video to work. And I have a video currently uploading. I don't know how that works with the live. I don't have the fastest internet, so it already said expected upload was 2 hours and 55 minutes at 11:30. And I don't think it was finished uploading before I went live. I don't think I haven't tried Country Squire stuff either. I tend to get them confused with the Briarworks blends, which I have tried several Briarworks, and they're good. What's the one? Oh, Bacon Old Fashioned, the infamous one. I've not tried that. I'm kind of interested to try it just to see how bad it is. I know people like it. Matches did not like it. I have a lot of similar taste to him. Kane Rod just talked about it on his live that he had not tried it and didn't want to try it. I'm a bit intrigued. Cosmo, what was the one we had? We had was it Country Lawyer from Briarworks? That's kind of a cigar leaf. That was good. And the Cherry Cobbler, yep. I was on a search for a cherry blend, and Cherry Cobbler is it for me. They're a bit expensive. I don't know. But worth it. I think it's worth it. I just wish I could find a better deal. Was there any other Briarworks blends that you had, or was just those two? I think it's cool they come in the jar, that little mason jar. I just feel like that adds to the cost, though. I mean, it's good packaging. Hold on, I gotta plug my laptop in. Before I lose power. There was another cherry blend I was looking at trying. Oh, it was from 4noggins, one of the 4noggins blends. I think they have a cherry. And then they have a Hobbit's Weed match. I think that's what it's called, which is like a cherry vanilla. I was thinking about ordering that one too. Yeah, Colt Blood Red Moon. I've had it a number of times with Cosmo there. He really likes it. I like it too. I wouldn't say it's my. I like the cherry cobbler more than that, only because I find that's kind of a ribbon cut. It packs easier. I find it lights easier and maybe stays lit easier. Although I am not having a good time with this pipe. Mm, I think that's just a case of making a video and smoking a pipe difficult. I think being live is even worse. Live stream's interesting. Like you don't want a lot of dead air, but it's hard to follow chat and talk the whole time. And nobody who wants to hear you talk the whole time. Yeah, definitely give the Cult Blood Run Moon a try if you have a tin. I guess I'm confused because I've heard, has it been discontinued or all the, because I've heard the Cult blends have been discontinued, but they're still available, and I really don't follow it. But I know that's a favorite of a lot of people. I know they discontinued some blends. I know didn't smoking pipe or one of the sites they had like a blowout sale, but they didn't say like discontinued or anything. And they had a huge sale on it not long ago. I think it was something to do with selling flavored tobaccos and things like that. I'm not sure that they were discontinuing some of them. Cosmo, have you had any pipes today? Or are you enjoying anything right now? Okay. Yeah, no problem. Take care. Like I said, I have a video uploading, kind of my final Codger challenge check-in. Okay, so that tin was dated in December. I didn't really get the feeling like they were discontinued, but I know I've heard some people mention it. I don't know. All right, take care, Cat Dad. It was kind of an odd time to go live. I just had to run an errand and I got back and checked on how my video was uploading, and I saw that Virtual Pipe Club was on, which they do Saturday. Can't remember the schedule. They're like noon to, they go for a couple hours around noon. And I think now they're doing it every other week. Or it used to be every week, but I haven't watched them much for a while. That was like kind of tuned in. Like, yeah, that day I did my first live stream. I did it, and then Virtual Pipe Club was on. So I always kind of have this association with doing my live and then they're on. That was the day they interviewed. It was the guy from LJ Peretti. That's a really good tour. That's a really good live to go back and watch. I mean, they talked to some interesting people. So, I mean, I know that's a couple years ago when I was really following them pretty close. They did a tour of Iwan Reese in Chicago, and I got there. I guess it wasn't last year; it was 2021. I did visit there. That's a pretty impressive store. Though they don't have as much tins out as you might think, but that's a good place to visit if you're ever in downtown Chicago and looking for something to do. Stop by Iwan Reese. They're right down there in the middle of everything. I don't remember the address, but it's like right off Washington Street or something. Go up to the second floor. So really the only difference I'm getting between this and the actual half and half is this does have a bit of a sweeter topping. A little bit of that Captain Black type flavor comes through. But you wouldn't call it Captain Black. It is very much nearly half and half. So I don't know if you didn't catch the beginning. I ran out of half and half this week, and I kind of threw some things together to just finish the challenge, realizing it might knock me out of competition for the drawing. That's okay. I felt it was a very Codger-ish thing to do, was kind of throw together a few things you had, and they all meet the criteria. Kind of got me thinking because I think Doug, the Michigan Piper, is doing it, and was he doing Prince Albert? Well, I watched a video of his the other week, and he said he was doing the new Prince Albert, which I thought he meant just the new production, which I moved the Dominican Republic. But he meant, was it Milan tobacconist? They have a version that they call their new Prince Albert. And I thought, well, wait a minute, is that not really Prince Albert though? So I don't know. I like Doug. If he can do it, you know, anyone can do it. But he said it had a smoother flavor, kind of what he thought Prince Albert might have been more back in the day. Was kind of the idea behind it. Yeah, I've read some things about Prince Albert. I mean, right now, I have a pouch of it inside. It's basically like a light cocoa top burley, and it's good. I like it. But from what I've read back in the day, it had more of that anise topping, maybe a bit more flavors going on. But I think this is very common. Those burley blends had that licorice flavor. I mean, it just must have been the thing to do. And I don't imagine, people didn't try new blends like we do. They found what they liked and they smoked it, and I would imagine things were much more regional too. So you probably had a lot of those types of blends were very similar. And if you had a burley, well, the topping was that anise. And that's kind of what you did, I suppose. But that leads me back to, I do want to try some blends from LJ Peretti. Trying to think, they have one called, I think it's Burley Cut Plug. That's supposed to be like the old Edgeworth, from what I understand. And their Cuban mixture, which is like 8 different tobaccos blended together with Latakia. So I've been kind of, I don't know how I'd like it, but it sounds interesting. And also the walnut, every time people talk about walnut, the old walnut blend, it's intriguing to me. That I just wonder how would I like it? And I think there is a walnut match. But everything I've heard about match blends is they're really not like what they're trying to be. They may be good in their own right, but they're not quite right. So I want to try Cuban mixture. I want to try some other things from Peretti. I'd love to visit LJ Peretti. I just saw Matthew from Picking and Piping was there not too long ago. They have a lot of, you look at their website, they have a lot of different stuff available. So Burley Cut Plug, Cuban mixture, and I don't know what else. They have a lot of aromatic stuff. They do their Thanksgiving Day every year. I almost ordered some last year, but I never did. I did the Secret Santa exchange last year too. I almost got the Thanksgiving Day to send, but I didn't want to send something I didn't know anything about. So I ended up sending a tin of Squadron Leader and a tin of Old Dark Fired. And there was another one. I can't remember. It was actually one I haven't had. Well, Squadron Leader. I don't remember. Hey, Lurker Troy, welcome. I don't know. I've heard different things about Thanksgiving Day. They make it every year. I don't know if they intend to make it differently, but it's different every year. I always get that one confused with Sleepy Hollow, and I don't know if they're really similar or not. But that's another one I want to try it, but there's so much stuff I want to try, and then at the same time, it's like I would just rather stick to stuff I know. I don't want to be disappointed anymore, but you gotta try new things, right? So we're coming up on 45 minutes for the live stream. I was planning to go maybe 30 to 45, and since I got some people on, I might just stay on, try to go an hour, make it go an hour, and I think that'll be a good live. Well, that's kind of, Troy, that's kind of where I'm at now. Like, I used to get something and I didn't keep very much around, so I'd kind of force myself to smoke through something. Now I feel like if I got something I didn't like, knowing that, they kind of change over time and your tastes change over time, I might just put it away. I don't have much of a cellar built up. This year is kind of the goal to get some things that I might jar up and just set aside for a while. But I don't. I don't know. I know people talk about, it's never going to be cheaper than it is today. And well, yeah, it's true, but I don't need pounds and pounds of tobacco sitting around either. Like if I've been trying to find some bulk blends I like, um, just to jar up, but I guess that's an aspect of this I don't really get into all that much. And it's just the more you do it, the more I've accumulated. So, I mean, I have stuff around and I'm just trying to kind of relax from this idea that you have to smoke through everything you have before you place an order. Yeah, I'm at the point where it's like if I want to order something, I'm going to do it because I do want to try a bunch of stuff. Yeah, a little time and money. So I've tried to not consciously limit myself, but do like quarterly. Last year I kind of said, well, okay, I've got a good amount of pipes. I don't really need to buy anymore. I'm going to try and limit it to maybe one pipe a quarter. And I did that. In fact, I did better than that, or less than that. I only bought 2 pipes last year. And one of them, I don't think I'm going to stick with because I don't know if the drilling is really off, but it doesn't seem to smoke that well. For me, that was I got the bag right here. Remember? Yeah, that was that Brebbia I made the video on. Really nice looking pipe. Nice rusticated bent billiard. I don't know, to me, and I feel like I've smoked it enough to break it in and just doesn't do it for me. And yeah, life's too short to stick with a blend you don't like or a pipe you don't. You kind of bond with a pipe. If it doesn't do it for you, move on to something else. I haven't totally given up on that one. I still have it around. I try it every once in a while. That and the Peterson Dublin filter 68, the nice big kind of bent brandy looking pipe. That one turned out I think that's a keeper. The drilling on that one's kind of weird too, but I think it's intentional, and I thought maybe the Brebbia was too. Like where the draft hole is, they're both 9mm filtered. So like where the draft hole comes up by the filter, it's way high, like it's as high as you can go. And I thought maybe that's an attempt to have any kind of condensation kind of drip down. The Peterson, it doesn't have that dry, they have the dry system. It does not have that, but it kind of has an area where that stuff could collect. So I thought maybe that's intentional, but I think a center drill draft hole is desirable. Hey, Northwoods, welcome. Don't feel bad about lurking. I lurked on the YTPC for 5 years, something like that. We love our lurkers. Now that I never felt bad about that term because I've always been a lurker on like forums and stuff too. Even if I registered, I didn't post very often on different forums I belong to. But I always kind of felt like, well, what do I have to say? I kind of had this idea like people with a YouTube channel, like we're called presenters. Like we have some, and a lot of YouTube channels are where there's like these kind of like personalities. and we have them in the YTPC too. But it's a much more interactive community. You know, they actually respond to you in comments and things. It's like a real person. It's not like a celebrity status out there. And the lives are, I find the lives are a great way to get involved because that's kind of how I started. And it seems like live streams were becoming really popular. Well, YouTube added live streaming, and it was around kind of when I was getting involved. It's 1917, yeah, 2017, 2018. And it was like a Saturday, and there was a live stream on. I got on there, and it was Four Eyed Piper. He hasn't posted anything in a long time. I don't know if he's out there doing. I know he was on House Party for a while, but he was doing a live stream almost every day. And he had this rule. He said, you know, if you're in chat and you see somebody you don't know, you know, give them a sub. So I was commenting. I got people to sub my channel. I had nothing on there. Which I always thought was interesting. And honestly, it gave me a little anxiety about the whole thing. I was like, I get all these. Then you feel like, you know, you want to support people. You feel like, well, now I got to watch all these channels. And I like watching other people's channels and supporting them, but it could be a full-time job if you let it. But it shouldn't be stressful. Hey, Pipes of Old. Yeah, I'm trying my best to be a YTPC celebrity here. You know, I'm always amazed at people that come on and like they do their first video and they're awesome like right away. And maybe they've done other YouTube stuff possibly. But you kind of tell, you know, people that like they want to do videos and they're you know, they want to be part of the community, which I totally encourage that. And then sometimes you'll see no one specific really. I'm thinking, but it's like sometimes you'll see someone like, well, they're trying to be you know, like a figure, like a person, iconic figure, and I don't know if it really works for what we do. Other YouTube stuff, sure, but YTPC, it's you know it's the guys. You're hanging out with the guys. No one's really, you know, no one's a celebrity really, especially in our genre. You know, a couple, you know, like yeah, Mutton Chop. He's really well known. He's got a lot of followers. Once I kind of realized that it's just, oh yeah, it's just a bunch of people that make videos and like to kind of interact with each other. I was able to relax a little bit. And I really started thinking about like I could do a video. Well, my lighter is about done and my pipe's about done. Hey, Double O Pipe, welcome. How's the Codger challenge been going for you? I've been watching your videos and I don't think I watched the latest one, but I saw the one where you told the story about the soldier, and I mean that was a fantastic story, but even more incredible that's true. But yeah, we like to have a good time, and I watch Kane Rod's replay every week. I kind of have some prior plans, so I don't get to see it live very often, but that's a live stream I really enjoy, and that's a group to get on there. They have a lot of fun. That's kind of the essence of the YTPC to me. Not a lot of chicks hanging around the YTPC. There are a few women around, but it's just a bunch of pipe loving guys. Hmm. But there's an excitement to it. Um, like when you record a video, you don't have to do anything with it, but there's something about when you upload it and you start to get interaction. I kind of find amazing, which it was a bit overwhelming at first because I was talking about that. I just did a random. Like I call this the random pipe lounge because it was two in January of 21. I did a live stream, and I don't know why I mention this all the time because it's just how I got started. But I did a live stream, and I just called it like YTPC Live, just hoping I might get somebody to come in, and that went for 20 minutes. I didn't get anybody, but as soon as that live stream saved, I immediately got comments on it, and it was like, oh, people are actually watching this. Jeez. But it just showed me how supportive everyone is, and it took another year and a half to make another video, but I'm glad I did. All right, Senior Church Warden, have a good day. Yeah, Flat Cat Piper, Lady Fire, they have an excellent live stream. I catch them when I can. Yeah, I never would have thought I would have been doing this. All right, take care. Does she have another channel? I never really thought about if they had other channels. They might. She might. I guess she does. But yeah, I mean, she has a lot of personality. I could easily see her doing, yeah, another YouTube channel like that. And they both do. I mean, they have that kind of. They really command a video and a live stream well. They really. I mean, again, if you were looking to somebody to be like, a figurehead or celebrity status, and I hate to say that, but they are both of them. They're people that kind of draw attention in a good way. All right, I'm going to try and give this one more light. I'm pretty much at the bottom. The flint in my Zippo is about worn out. I try to, Flat Cap does a good like college football rundown on Saturday mornings. I don't think this last season. I don't know if he was doing it or I didn't catch it early enough. Well, it's lit, but it's down to ash. We're gonna go a few more minutes and just cut this off. I was originally thinking 30 to 45 minutes, and I got a few people on here, so thank you. Appreciate everyone watching and commenting. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, that's interesting, Troy. I don't know. I know I used to, like, you get a notification for a live stream, and it's been going on for half an hour or something. But I've had good luck with, if you click the bell notification, I've had pretty good luck with getting a notification right away recently. But I don't do that for too many people. Hmm. Yeah, double O pipe. Yeah, again, I never thought I'd be posting videos either, because I just like, well, I know it's going to be uncomfortable to make a video and post it. Mm, so at one time, YouTube said you needed 1,000 subscribers to go live. It's kind of why when I did that initial live stream, I was like, I'm going to test this. And no, I had almost no subscribers, maybe 25 at that time. Um, I think at the time that was more for like mobile streaming. Um, no, as far as I know, you don't need anything special to go live. Um, like I said, my first live was very few subscribers. I had no videos, no watch time. So I don't know. Hmm. Yeah, Northwoods. I think I've always seen the default is public, and you can make them private if you don't want them to go on right away. But I haven't seen that. Hey Scott. Okay, yeah, no problem. I'm just happy some people showed up. I've been wanting to do another live for a while, and maybe I just haven't chosen good times before. Well, I've only done two other lives, and the first one I was a complete unknown, and the second one was New Year's Eve at 8:30, and I was up against Martin over a pipe. I was like, I may not get anybody, but actually, Paladin Piper stopped in for a while. I had another friend of mine stop in, so that was cool. But well, my pipe is out. I've been on for over an hour now. I think I'm probably going to call this one to a close. Once again, I appreciate everyone stopping by. Thanks for commenting. I appreciate anyone watching, even if you didn't comment. Hey, I'm having a great time with this. I get a lot of support from a lot of people, especially Scott. He does a really good job with a lot of presenters getting around. I don't know how like I have trouble getting around to people I'm sub to. So some of these guys must have, I don't know, thousands of subscriptions. Now they're probably not all active. I was curious one time, like, how many people are actively making videos? I just estimated like 1,000 people actively making videos, and of course, there's many more channels with older content. Then we're getting new people all the time. So, all right, Troy. Thanks again. Thanks, Scott. Northwoods Piper, Double O Pipe, Cosmo the Cat Dad Piper, Senior Church Warden. Sorry if I forgot anybody, but okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off. Appreciate all the support. You take care, and you have a good time. Goodbye now.